It was not smooth sailing on the nation's major highways this morning as members of the Belizean Bus Owners Association staged a fiery 5-hour-long protest that commenced from the crack of dawn at 4 a.m. The Belize Bus Owners Cooperative, BBOC for short, literally took their plight to the streets as they blocked off the northern and western highways and the Hattieville Boom Road. And to fuel their rage, instead of passengers, their buses were loaded with tires, enough to sustain their protest long enough to make their point. These were sprawled across the highways and ignited to effectively interrupt traffic flow for about 5 hours. The bus owners' gripe was that last week the Ministry of Transport ceased their permits for their western route, and after a week of failed attempts to reach common ground with the Minister of Transport, Melvin Hulse, the bus owners, their employees and families had had enough. Ewart Metzen told Love News that today's events could have been avoided.
We've been out here since 4 this morning, and ma'am, we're here because the Minister of Transport along with the Transport Board took away our means of making a living, our means of making a living for our families, and it's not fair for us after we've been used and kicked about like a football by the Ministry of Transport. Whenever they got into trouble with buses and stuff, they called upon us, BBOC. We were always there for them. Whether it may have been taking a run from Belize City to Corozal and coming back empty, we did it because we know the need was there. I mean, with all of what we have done, we thought that the good we have done would have reflected back on us having more runs.
Okay, you had a meeting last night. What came out of it?
What came out of our meeting is what you're seeing here today.
Okay, you didn't meet with the minister?
No, he paid us no mind. He spoke to our president of the National Association and told him he can't take away the permits from Mr. Chuk. Friday, the minister along with the Transport Board had a meeting with the bus operators and lied to all of us along with the whole country, stating that he would have given us 21 days to see what sort of negotiation and what we could have worked out with the schedules. But Sunday he went back on that and he took our runs from us.
What the blockades took away from the Friday morning was the normal busy traffic flow that commuters are familiar with. On our way to Hattieville from Belize City, just before 6, the Western Highway was noticeably bare and quiet, with mostly only cyclists taking their early morning ride. Even they had to turn back when they reached the Mile 16 barrier. A couple of vehicles, presumably traveling from the Mile 8 community, were the only ones we passed on the way. But while the protest created an inconvenience for many people, many also supported the bus owners, including some of the very ones who could not reach work, such as Javier Canul, an emergency medical technician with Burt Ambulance.
Yes, got to get to work. I don't know how the people want to handle it up here if they get sick, because the ambulance can't pass, so somebody have to do something. I don't know why they hope that I could get across this, and somebody want to turn back, and I want to just make it how I could, no peace. But I know I work for sure, but I have to get across. Well, I tell you the truth, man, I believe that if you take bread out of people's mouth, this will be the problem.
I'm the head for work, but but nothing can pass. And I agree with the busman because I mean, shucks, them man mortgage, their wife, their picnic, they just get pitched away. I mean, Novelos slipped down with this 35 million and all that stuff. They man just step up to the plate. I mean, the minister may need them. Now, because this other guy step up now, they pitch with them and no man, that's out of order. The minister rang me.
Okay, so am I understanding you correct? You're a resident of Hattieville who can't reach to work, but you're supporting these guys?
Have to. I mean, it could happen to me. I get pitch the same way. I don't got no money. I mean, if I hold the bank and everybody take away my livelihood, I have to do something. Because if you don't speak and don't listen to me, then we have to take our next measures. This is injustice and corruption. Really. Hold on. This is injustice, man.
That's what the people are saying here?
Yeah, everybody who listened to this over love had heard what was happening. The minister definitely, I mean, when you give a man your word, you can't just go and come back and change your word. That is out of order, man. That is not acceptable.
I'm at work, Democracia, to Port.
How did you get from La Democracia to here?
Well, I catch a vehicle was coming down.
Hitchhike?
Yeah, hitchhiking.
Okay. Now you're in Hattieville, you're still stranded, you're half.
I need to get to work.
Okay. What are you going to do? Hitchhike again?
Yeah, I got to hitchhike now from here to Belize.
Are you late?
Yeah, late bad.
Okay.
Most of me done start work already.
What are your feelings about this?
I think this is the government to blame in this.
Are you one of those who are just simply trapped as well trying to get to the city?
Well, so to speak, I'm trying to get to court this morning. Certainly, I understand the reason for the action that's taking place. It's regrettable. I think that it could have been avoided, considering that this had played out some years before. In Orange Walk, remember the Tower Hill situation, Tillit bus line. So this is not something that the government couldn't appreciate what the outcome would be, considering the action that they had taken. So I understand the sentiment of the people here. It's a bit inconveniencing for me.
But one person who could not understand was EP York High School student Lovell Mejia. He, like many others, could not reach school on time to complete their final exams.
They're putting our schooling and everything in jeopardy because now we can't go to school, and then, you know what, today is the final day for any exams or whatever we need to take.
You're missing exams, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
You realize that you're blocking other people who want to get to and from school and work, right?
Yes, we understand all that, but we as Belizeans, it's time for us to stand up and to let this government know that they work for us, the people of Belize. It's not the opposite. We are the ones that put them in where they are to look after our business, and they seem not to be doing a good job at it. And if we don't stand now, I mean, they will do whatever they want with us, and it's time for us to make a stand, Belize. And I apologize to everybody in this country who's been affected by what we're doing, but please bear with us, and we're doing it for all of us.
And the residents of Hattieville seemed to appreciate the action because well over 100 of them came out to support the bus owners as police elements, led by Commissioner Crispin Jeffries, took control of the situation at around 7 a.m. It did not escalate into violence, but there were moments when there was a back and forth, like when UDP candidate Herman Longsworth arrived at the scene. And risky moments when people who needed to get across the other side simply took the chance and ran just feet past the flaming tires before police took control of the situation and stopped the bus owners from feeding the flames. During the course of the morning, the police were also gearing up in Hattieville for the possibility of a riot breaking out on the Northern Highway. Officers were loading bulletproof vests, helmets, high-powered guns and shields onto a police bus that went to arrest a similar situation on the Northern Highway. By 9:15, an excavator was brought to the scene, and after a fire truck had doused what was left of the smoldering tires, cleared the debris, and the Western Highway was once again opened to traffic by 9:20. Reporting for Love News, I am Marian Ali.